Planet Dolan.
Christmas may be the most wonderful time of the year, but some people seem intent on destroying the magic for everyone. Like, who would bring a gun to a snowball fight, or pee all over their family's presents? Here are the people who actually ruin Christmas. I'm Pringle the One, and today, I'll be your narrator.
Number 15.
In 2009, William C. Cadwell III, a 5-foot-tall man suffering from a number of mental health issues, dressed himself as an elf and queued up to meet Father Christmas at a shopping mall in Atlanta. When he got to the front, William declared that he had his own gift of a bag of dynamite. Mall security quickly evacuated the area, and while they discovered no explosives, the affair left a lot of little kids traumatized.
Number 14.
A primary school play in Essex, England put on a performance of a play with a number of songs. One of the show tunes featured a chorus with the line, "It's Mum or Dad in Santa fancy dress, sneaking around. We really hope you wouldn't guess." Considering the children were aged 5 to 11, the parents were pretty angry about the Santa myth being shattered. "I am disgusted," said one parent, clearly overreacting.
Number 13.
In the run-up to Christmas, a number of shopping companies appear online and on TV, offering discounts on toys and electronics, and promising to deliver before Christmas. Savvy Buy was one of these companies in the UK, and like many, it failed to deliver, leaving thousands of customers with no presents and no money. When people took to Facebook to complain, the company declared that it was being harassed by angry parents.
Number 12.
Advertising around the holiday period usually has a cheerful, festive vibe, with prancing reindeer, laughing Santas, and grandmothers holding plates of steaming turkey. Bloomingdale's department store decided to add date rape to the Christmas spirit, as it published a pretty tasteless ad in its holiday catalog. The image advised men to spike their friends' eggnog when they're not looking, which is both illegal and creepy as hell. That's why you never leave your eggnog unattended.
Number 11.
A family in Connecticut had the decorations stolen from their house by some Grinch wannabes, so the parents responded by posting a heartbreaking sign outside their house telling the thieves that they'd stolen the light from their son's Christmas. A woman in Melbourne was caught on CCTV stuffing someone's light into a trash bag, ruining the magic for another family of children. You're never too young to learn that some people are just terrible.
Number 10.
Comedian, actor, and notorious wildcard, Andy Dick managed to ruin his family's holiday in a pretty spectacular way. The actor remembers getting so hammered on Christmas Eve that he tried to build a bonfire in his garden, but ended up passing out. His family awoke on Christmas morning to find Andy asleep on the kitchen table, having pissed himself and the stockings full of gifts that he was also sleeping on. Oh boy, he probably put some extra chocolate in those stockings.
Number 9.
In another example of sensitive parents going too far to protect their little ones' belief in Santa, British store John Lewis received complaints about its famous Christmas commercials in 2016. The ad shows a father building a trampoline for his daughter on Christmas Eve, but Twitter users complained that it implied that Santa has no part to play and therefore destroys Christmas for their precious children. Oh, someone's a little sensitive.
Number 8.
Residents and business owners in the Bronx, New York look forward to the Christmas tree lights displayed in their local park, operated by Business Improvement District. But according to the organizers, an influx of homeless people using the display as a bathroom meant that they needed to hire a full-time security guard to protect the decorations. This added cost left no money to actually run the lights, so they said, and everything was taken down.
Number 7.
The Northern League political party in Milan, Italy was dreaming of a white Christmas in 2009, which to them meant no foreigners or non-white Italians, and so they launched a festive sweep of their neighborhood to kick out any illegal immigrants and argued that foreign food like kebabs or Chinese should be banned from city centers. But the party's Christmas was itself ruined by the appearance of the town hall's nativity scene featuring a historically accurate dark-skinned Jesus. Oh, black Jesus and his homies Peter, John, Matthew, Judas, Mary, and Lazarus.
Number 6.
Hundreds of people were engaged in a fun and harmless snowball fight on the streets of Washington, D.C. a few days before Christmas. During the blizzardy battle, a couple of snowballs hit the window of a Hummer going past. The driver got out of the vehicle and immediately pulled out a firearm to threaten the crowd. Even worse, he turned out to be a cop, who should know better than to bring a gun to a snowball fight. He really just didn't want to lose.
Number 5.
In 1927, Marshall Ratliff strolled into a Texas bank with 3 armed accomplices and ordered the cashier to empty the vault. Ratliff was a wanted man, so to disguise himself, he had put on a big red Santa suit and beard. The gang stole over $160,000 in cash and securities, and their crime resulted in a week-long manhunt. As the festive felons engaged in numerous gunfights with the police, Ratliff was later dragged out of jail by an angry mob and lynched. He's definitely gonna be on the naughty list.
Number 4.
Perhaps inspired by the story of Ratliff, Jerry Stenner also put on father's Christmas clothes to rob an armored truck at gunpoint in 1989. Stealing over $500,000, Stenner was clearly concerned about his identity being revealed, so much so that at Christmas time the following year, he arranged the murder of his accomplice, who Santa thought might spill the beans. 14 years later, the murder was traced back to Stenner, and he was given 60 years.
Number 3.
Drunk drivers around the holiday season is nothing surprising, but what sets David Allen Rogers apart is that he decided to get inebriated while driving a Christmas parade float in South Carolina. Rogers sped past red lights on the main street in a large vehicle that carried dancing performers. He faced the charges including DUI, kidnapping, and even assaulting a police officer, but fortunately managed not to kill anyone.
Number 2.
Winter Wonderland was a Christmas fair that opened in Milton Keynes, UK in 2013. The attractions park promised a meeting with Santa, an ice rink, reindeer, a fairground, and a magical festive atmosphere. Instead, what visitors saw was a rink with no ice on it, a skinny, badly dressed Santa with a beard that kept falling off, and a bunch of elves on a cigarette break. Visitors at night were treated to display of absolutely no lights whatsoever.
Number 1.
In perhaps the most brutal Christmas day, one family in Texas were killed when the father opened fire on all of his relatives, killing his wife, his kids, and his sister-in-law's family, before turning the gun on himself. In total, 7 people died that day shortly after opening their gifts. Investigations suggest that the man who was wearing a Santa suit at the time was struggling financially and emotionally with an unhappy marriage, or maybe no one got him what he wanted for Christmas.
What? Don't you, Don? Did you know that we have a countdown book featuring some of our best scripts on sale now? Links down below for the physical and ebook versions.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.